You're listening to DraftKings Network.
Yeah, sure thing.
Hey, you sold that car yet?
Yeah, sold it to Carvana.
Oh, I thought you were selling to that guy.
The guy who wanted to pay me in foreign currency, no interest, over 36 months? Yeah, no. Carvana gave me an offer in minutes, picked it up, and paid me on the spot. It was so convenient.
Just like that.
Yeah?
No hassle.
None.
That is super convenient.
Sell your car to Carvana and swap hassle for convenience. Pickup fees may apply.
At Sierra, discover top workout gear at incredible prices, which might lead to another discovery. Your headphones haven't been connected this whole time. Awkward. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
You know what's smart? Enjoying a fresh gourmet meal at home that you didn't have to cook. Meet Factor, your loophole in the laws of mealtime. Chef-crafted meals delivered with a tap, ready in just 2 minutes. You know what's even smarter? Treating yourself without cheating your goals. Factor is dietitian approved, chef prepared, and you plated. Pretty smart, huh? Refresh your routine and eat smart with Factor. Learn more at factormeals.com.
God bless football, Mikey A.
God bless football, Billy Gill.
Fuentes is with us today. It is the day after the Super Bowl. Happy Super Bowl, everyone. I guess not happy Super Bowl. It's kind of a bad Super Bowl, if I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Bit of a drag. Not really competitive at any point in time. It's a fitting end to, a season, I guess. Not at all, actually. It was terrible.
No, I would say it's kind of the opposite. It was actually a pretty good season, and then all of a sudden, we got that clunker to end it.
Yeah. Stugotz will be joining us later today on the TV side, not on the audio side. He is in transit because that's what we do the day after the Super Bowl. But there's plenty of things to talk about. There was a game. There were commercials. There was some Jets news over the weekend that I'm eager to see what Mikey thinks about as he is dressed in full Jets gear from head to toe. I suspect to mourn the season, to celebrate the season. I don't know why you're dressed in all Jets clothes today.
Because we're all undefeated today.
Yeah, okay.
I can go back to wearing this because I'm in first place just like you.
Season starts today.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm in my
Season
Chiefs.
starts today. Didn't you get all the tweets from all the teams that didn't make the Super Bowl that said season starts today? I think every team sent one out.
I don't want to hear from all of those teams. I don't want to hear from any of those teams. I'm in my my Chiefs hat because, when you're part of Chiefs Kingdom, you ride the highs and the lows, and we've had a lot of highs as members here of Chiefs Kingdom. So, day after you get blown out in the Super Bowl, I'm going to own it.
Still thankful for the journey.
Exactly right. We've had, oh God, what a number of years we've had going back and forth. And don't let the people tell you that this is the end of the dynasty. I will not accept that.
All right. I'll ask you this.
Yeah.
What would make the end of the dynasty? If Travis Kelce comes out today and says, I retire, end of the dynasty?
No. Not the end of the dynasty.
Andy Reid says, I retire.
Well, okay.
End of the dynasty?
First of all, season starts today, just as we've already discussed.
Yeah.
Brand new season, undefeated, just like you are. Also, Xavier Worthy. Have a game, Xavier Worthy. I took Xavier Worthy in our weekly fantasy contest presented by Smirnoff. I'm not even going to tell you the URL because that's done. That ended yesterday, so you don't need to go. Yeah. And you don't even really need a recap of this presented by Smirnoff, the world's #1 vodka. Please drink responsibly. But I'm going to give it to you for free because I know that you guys really are interested and want to hear about our fantasy situation. So, Super Bowl is a different one. You have the captain that's 1.5 points, and then you have 5 different, utility slots, basically, where you can take anyone else on the field. Oh, Xavier Worthy came in clutch. I finished in 46th place or something like that, so right out of the money, but what a pickup by Xavier Worthy. Saquon Barkley, dud of a game. Guy scores a touchdown every single game except the Super Bowl, which, in my opinion, does he deserve a ring? I don't know. For some people are wondering. Doesn't show up in the biggest game, kind of has his team carry him. Really, the MVP should have been the kicker, if we're going to be perfectly honest with you. Guy puts up basically half of their points for the entire game. And Jalen Hurts was pretty good, too.
Jalen Hurts was all right. I mean, I thought I thought giving him the MVP was a bit of a stretch. I mean, if you really wanted to give somebody the MVP, how about the front four of the Eagles? And I know,
Yeah, well, that's
four guys, but
not how it
like
works.
that's who wrecked the game. That's the Eagles didn't blitz once going into the third quarter, and yet Mahomes was pressured on every play. The Eagles' defensive line, is it Josh Sweat or Montez Sweat? I always forget which one it is.
Yeah, one of Sweats.
He had 2.5 sacks.
Josh Sweat
caused the interception. Yeah, like that should have been your MVP. But once Jalen Hurts threw a meaningless touchdown, you're like, quarterback's gonna get it.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Sweat winning the MVP kind of would have been a little bit tricky. Jalen Hurts had 2 passing touchdowns. He had his rushing touchdown via the tush push. Patrick Mahomes finishing the game with more passing yards than Jalen Hurts is surprising. Well, it's not, because they were in desperation mode, right, where he just kind of starts heaving passes and 50-yard touchdowns. But he had like 30 passing yards, I think, headed into the fourth quarter. That's not an actual stat, but that basically was
It was
stat.
24 in the third quarter. I know that.
Yeah.
It was 24 midway through the third quarter.
So great quarter and a half by Patrick Mahomes, but oof. Rough game for him. Rough game for him. Washed, some people are saying? Some people asked that?
Some people. I'll
25
tell you what,
rushing yards.
Travis Kelce, nowhere to be seen for the first, 3 quarters? And then all of a sudden he caught a few, they're not really covering me because they're playing deep.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I caught my yards. No, you didn't. You were terrible.
I mean, he only had 39 yards. He had 6 targets. He dropped 2 early on. The Eagles' defense, as good as advertised. The Chiefs couldn't do absolutely anything, and the entire season we saw the Chiefs just kind of find a way week after week after week, and just kept believing, you know what, maybe they'll find a way. And to a lot of people's credit, last week, I think Chris Sims was one of them, was saying, you know what, I could see this being a 2-score game. Like, I could see them winning by 2 touchdowns easily if they win. And that ended up being what happened, because don't let the 40-22 score trick you. This was not a close game at any point in time. And we were just kind of, at the end, letting the Chiefs score if they want to, or do whatever they wanted to, just to kind of, let's get to the end of this game and give the Eagles their trophy already.
Let's get everybody off the field. Let's get everybody home safe. The game is over.
Yeah.
We have work tomorrow because, as Stugotz would say, it's Super Bowl Sunday, not Super Bowl Saturday.
Yeah, Kenny
everybody
Pickett.
move.
Good for Pickett, huh? Getting in there towards the end of the game. That's
good for me for betting over 2.5 players to throw a pass, and Kenny Pickett getting an absolutely meaningless throw attempt in there just to cash that bet in for me.
That was
nice.
That's a dicey bet by you. Also, thoughts and prayers to everyone who had Saquon Barkley anytime touchdown. Friends, I'm sorry. This wasn't the game for you. 57 yards. Also, little T's and P's for the people who had Jalen Hurts at over 224.5 passing yards, because he finished with 221, which, gosh, how do they always know? Like, how do they always know when they give you the lines that it's going to be that close? It's honestly incredible.
Hey, man, it's Vegas. That's how they air condition the desert.
Yeah. Big day for Cooper DeJean, huh?
I thought he might have stolen the MVP when he had the pick 6. I thought he might have had a chance. I was waiting for like 1 sack maybe or something to just be like, okay, that guy's the MVP, which would have been cool to see a rookie DB win MVP of the Super Bowl. But
on his birthday too, I believe.
Yeah.
So
Saquon got all the attention going in. Oh, it's my birthday. Saquon's gonna have a big day. No. Cooper DeJean. That's whose birthday it was.
Honestly, and this might sound crazy, the Cooper DeJean interception return for the touchdown was when that game ended, and it was like midway through the second. But I think it made it a 17-point game at the time. And you're like, okay, this is over. Like, they're not coming back from this game whatsoever.
Yeah, it was, for me, it was like, up till then, it was like, okay, here's where Mahomes' magic has to come in.
Yeah.
And then when he threw the other interception to give them the ball in the 5, I was like, oh, okay, this is just going to get out of hand now. Got it. Now we're just looking to finish off the Super Bowl snacks, finish your drinks, and cash a bet where we can. That's what we're aiming for.
What was your viewing experience like? Did you have a lot of people come over? Did you go to someone else's house? How was your Super Bowl day?
So they all expect, and by they all I mean like my in-laws. They all expect me to sort of run this thing because of
Yeah,
my job and
sports.
who I am and all that stuff, sports. So everybody comes over. So we had probably 15 people, a lot of kids. Everybody left before halftime, except for
Really?
like my friend who was there to watch the game. Yeah.
Okay. They just decided we're done with this, or would they normally leave at halftime? We left before halftime also, but it was because it was bedtime. Normally, we leave at halftime or after halftime, put the girls to bed. My daughter, might be surprising to some of you, not a Kendrick Lamar fan. So we said, you know what? We can probably leave early. My 3-year-old daughter doesn't know who Kendrick Lamar is. We don't really have to see the halftime show for her this year. We can leave a little bit early, put her to sleep. I can watch the rest of the game, the halftime show at home. So that's what we elected to do yesterday.
Can you call it a Super Bowl party when people leave at halftime? Like if you're by yourself, if you're hosting a Super Bowl party and you're by yourself by the third quarter, can you call it a Super Bowl party, or was it more of a pregame party, or people just come over for dinner?
Where I was at was a party. There was a bounce house for the children, which ended up breaking. Look, we can talk about this.
Let's get into it.
Let's talk about this just here amongst friends, because the Super Bowl party that I was at was an experience. I was over at my cousin's house, and hopefully no one that's was at attendance for this is listening.
Okay.
I was over at my cousin's house. He has 2 daughters as well. They invite some friends over from school, the parents, all of that stuff, right? They rent a tent. They put it out in their yard. They rent a tent, and then they have one of those like giant inflatable screens that they got from who knows where they got it from. And then they project the game onto the screen in the yard. People sit underneath the tent. Mm-hmm. And then there's like a giant, they had a bounce house that like, they're friends of the people that rented them the tent, so they threw in the bounce house for free, as I was told. Here's the thing about the inflatable screen. Basically, you can only start watching the game right when kickoff happens because it's too bright. So you can't project onto the screen until like kickoff time. So like leading up to kickoff, it's very tense because it's like, what are we doing? Is the national anthem going on? Like, where are we? I'm looking. It's 6:30. It's still daylight out. Like, why are we not watching the game right now? Oh, it's because of the sun. We can't see the screen because it's too bright out. So like that was one situation. But sure enough, as soon as kickoff happens, the sun knows, you know what? It's time for me to go away. Let's watch this game, right? However, there was probably like 50 people there at least. There were a ton of people, a ton of kids there. There was a bounce house there. Kids somehow broke the bounce house, which I don't
bouncing with shoes. You don't bounce with shoes.
No, what it was like the protective netting on the outside somehow broke, and like kids were sliding out the side, which is like crazy dangerous. But like, what do you now tell the person that lent you that bounce house for free? You know what I mean? Like, I do not envy the position that he's in, where he has to now explain to someone, hey, thank you for that generosity. This broke. Fuentes put on his headphones. I think he has lots of thoughts on bounce houses.
It's not on bounce houses.
Maybe that's why they gave it to him.
It's not on bounce houses.
Because it was broken.
Yeah.
It's possible.
It's about projector screens. I don't get why people are obsessed with projector screens. The max quality you get is like 720.
Yeah.
It's not a good viewing experience. And then there was like, at my uncle's house, there was Wi-Fi issues, and then like I kept stopping, and then the TV outside the projector is like a full minute behind the inside, like behind the inside TV.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, Unc, I love you. I'm going inside. I'm not doing this outside thing anymore. Like, I don't know what you're trying to do here. I know it's nice outside. We're trying to watch a game. Not doing this.
Were there a lot of people outside with you?
Like all the old men were out there.
Yeah.
Like half the people didn't care about the game.
Yeah.
The other half wanted to see Kendrick Lamar, didn't care about the game. So it was like me and like some of the kids inside, like the teenagers, and then the guys that were watching for gambling.
Yeah. What is your...
hold on. So my wife always buys me almost a good gift. Almost.
Okay.
And last year, she bought me a projector screen and a projector.
Ooh.
And she was like, oh, we'll use it all the time. Well, here's the problem. We live in Connecticut. So you can't watch it at nighttime pretty much 7 months of the year because it's too damn cold to go outside and watch something. And the times of the year that you can watch it, it doesn't get dark till 9 o'clock. Well, guess what? Our kids go to bed at like 8:30.
Yeah.
So like we have used it not once. It's sitting in a box literally at my feet right now. And just hearing that you guys even have the option to watch it, I got a little bit jealous.
When did you get this?
Christmas 2 years ago.
Oh, wow. And it still hasn't come out of the box in 2 years. Yeah.
Oh, no, we took it out once to like be like, oh, look, we could set it up. And like we set it up in the living room to watch a game, like a UConn game or something during the national championship. And like, that's it.
Yeah,
but like, I'm jealous that you guys even have the option to do this whole projector thing because I don't.
But it's not any good. Like I can watch like games in the stunning 4K HD.
Yeah.
Like the best possible viewing experience. Then I got to go outside to watch this hopefully 1080p on a projection that's probably diagonal because they don't know how to prop it up.
Yeah.
The sound is absolute ass because the speaker built in is crap. Like, it's just not a great viewing experience. Oh, my God, we're outside of Florida. Who cares? So now I'm out in the nice weather getting eaten alive by mosquitoes watching this game.
Yeah. So I bought myself, my wife wanted to get me a projector because I would say I want a projector, I want a projector, I want a projector. But I wanted a projector for a different reason, and it was for, like, just regular season football because I'm what I like to call a normal person, and I am not allowed to have multiple TVs just set up on the wall in the front of the house. Like I don't have yes, you have two TVs stacked one on top of the other, but you have it in a room isolated, not like where you come in on the house, right? So like my wife is like, no, we're not going to have multiple TVs, which is very understandable and very normal. So for the longest time I was like, you know what, I'm going to get a projector. I'm just going to project onto the wall another thing, and then I could just put it away when it's time. During football season, I could have Red Zone on one, and then the Dolphins game, the main game, on the other, right? So eventually I bought myself a projector for like $20 on Amazon, which she was like, oh, I was going to get you a projector this year. It's like, listen, we've been having this debate for 2 years now. I know that you weren't going to. And you would have paid way too much for one. This is like just a indulgence that I have for a couple of hours, a couple of weeks a year. Like we didn't need to go crazy and break the bank on a projector. So I used to project onto like the wall next to the TV the other game, right? To Mike Fuentes' point, there's basically like of the entire screen, maybe like 3 inches that are actually in focus. Like you can't actually, it's like, do I want the players to be in focus or do I want the bottom bar and the graphics with all the information to be in focus? Because they're not both going to be in focus. Only one of them can be in focus here. Granted,
maybe that's
now
the difference between the $20 projector that you bought and a good one.
I was
going to
say
the difference.
I was going to say now. Granted, this is a projector that again costs like $25, and I put on a tripod. It's not like permanently mounted.
Yeah.
So like I have to do all of the different tricks where I like rotate the angles and all of that. But projector life, not for me in general.
Speaking of graphics, people hated the score bug.
Hated the score bug. I liked it. I really liked it.
I hated it.
I liked it.
I liked it how simple it was and like you could see through it.
Yeah.
But such a downgrade from other score bugs they've had.
I like that you could see through it. My only gripe, and it's probably crazy, is I thought it was too big. Like if you're gonna go like minimalist on it, make it a little bit smaller so that I can actually see through it, because like I was basically looking around billboards to watch the game on the thing. Like the team names were too big, and then sometimes like where's down and distance, like where's the play clock? Like it was a little confusing. I kind of like that they went for something there though.
I don't. What I did like about it was Fox updates the stats as it goes. Not all the networks do that, which always irritates me. Watching a game and you'd be like, oh, that was a big pass. Did I hit the over there? I don't know. They're not telling me. So I got to open an app on my phone and check the stats. I do like that they did that. But in general, I thought it was a big miss. It looked so simple. I was like, this is the Super Bowl, guys. Go big or don't go.
What'd you want it to look like? Just the regular one, whatever they had before?
Yeah, just the regular Fox one would have been fine.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was fine. I liked it. And it also took away from like Tom Brady, talking into commercial breaks and getting cut off mid-sentence. So many people were talking about the graphics that they weren't talking about Tom Brady, which I think was a win. And his watch. His watch was ridiculous. Apparently worth $800,000. I cannot imagine going into a store. I assume a store, right? And saying, I'll take that one. And they're like $800,000. Like, okay, here's the card. Like, how does that work?
Coupon?
No, at this point, the store comes to him.
Well,
the store comes to the house and he picks the one he wants.
I guess the idea is so foreign to me because like if I go and I spend like, I don't know, a couple $100 sometimes, like the card will just say like decline, like this is, this bad activity, like suspicious activity. Like, so the idea like $800,000, imagine you're him and then the bank has to call you or text you like 3 times like, send Y for yes if this was you trying to make this purchase. And Tom Brady's like, hold on, I swear I'm good for it. I have the money. I just need to text back my bank. Just a moment here.
You're not a watch guy, are you, Billy? I imagine like that if you made Tom Brady money, watches wouldn't be your thing.
I don't know what my thing would be if I made money. I hope to one
Fuentes,
day
I think you're a watch
figure
guy.
it out.
I think Fuentes is wearing an $800,000 watch if he had Tom Brady money.
Maybe.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I figured.
When we come back,
watch guys.
We're going to get into the Jets. We're going to get into commercials. And we're going to have some winners and losers next.
This is a message from sponsor Intuit TurboTax. Guys, Taxes was dealing with piles of paperwork and frustrating forms and then waiting and wondering and worrying if you're going to get any money back. Now Taxes is easily uploading your forms to a TurboTax expert who's matched to your unique tax situation. An expert who's backed by the latest technology, which cross-checks millions of data points for 100% accuracy. While they work on your taxes, you get real-time updates on their progress, and you get the most money back, guaranteed, all while you go about your busy day. No stress, no worry, no waiting. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live, full service, real-time updates only on iOS mobile app. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
Wow.
What's up?
I just bought and financed a car through Carvana in minutes.
You? The person who agonized 4 weeks over whether to paint your walls eggshell or off-white bought and financed a car in minutes?
They made it easy. Transparent terms, customizable down and monthly. Didn't even have to do any paperwork.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Hey, have you checked out that spreadsheet I sent you for our dinner options?
Finance your car with Carvana and experience total control. Financing subject to credit approval.
I don't know why I wait till we're in breaks to vent to you guys about things.
It was a nice vent. Like, I'm still laughing.
Well, it's about things that I probably shouldn't be talking about on air anyways.
Sure.
Just a real quick thing. There was a couple at this party that announced they were having a baby. Lovely.
Looky me, Louise.
Very happy for you. It's a Super Bowl, okay? Like, again, very, very happy for this couple. It was kind of at a family party, and they weren't in my family, but, like, that's another thing. But, like, very happy for you guys. I don't know why we did it in the middle of the game also. Like, it was a little bit odd to me.
Like, 2nd and 10. Hey, guys, guess what?
Yeah, there's just, like, a cheer erupted, and then we found out what was going on. And again, very happy for the couple, but it seemed like, timing for me seemed a little suspect. Hey, you want to play a game of winners and losers presented by Smirnoff, the world's #1 vodka?
Always.
Please drink responsibly. I also, Mikey, have, and I know this is your thing, so I don't want to step on your toes here at all, but I want to play a game, a quick 1 round of More Mikely with you.
Oh, yes.
If we can.
I miss More Mikely. It's such an off-season thing.
A little bit later.
But we got to bring that back this off-season.
Well, it's good. Then we can do it now to kind of,
dip our toe in.
Exactly right. Give people a little appetite for
appetizer.
For More Mikely. Yeah, tease a little bit. Okay. Winners and losers presented by Smirnoff. Do you guys have any winners or losers that you want to get to today, or am I flying solo?
I have a loser.
You have a loser? Oh, okay. Let me get started. All right, you want to go first? You can give us a loser first.
I'll give you a loser first.
All right.
Myself and everyone of my age and skin color.
Oh.
The Super Bowl halftime show was not for us. It was not for me. It's okay. Doesn't have to be. We didn't understand it. We didn't like it. And that's okay. You can stop whining online.
Okay.
You didn't like it. I thought it was fine, but stop whining about it. Wasn't for you.
Wasn't for you. Okay. So that was the loser. So you were the loser.
I was the loser.
All right. I'm going to go with a winner in A.J. A.J. Brown, a couple weeks ago, was seen on the sideline reading a book. And we had people on the in the company here. David Sampson said he would have cut A.J. Brown the next day. And A.J. Brown then, during the Super Bowl, had a moment with Nick Sirianni where he was kind of getting a little lippy, and they were getting a little bit frustrated. He said, oh, wow, the tensions are carrying over. I hope this team doesn't unravel. No, they did not, because the next drive, A.J. Brown scored a touchdown. So, A.J. Brown, not the best behavior all the time. Super Bowl champion, big winner, A.J. Brown.
I got another loser.
Okay.
The refs are making the Chiefs win narrative.
Oh.
Because there were bad calls all over on both sides.
Yeah.
There were missed calls. Now, originally, not going to lie, the first bad call was A.J. Brown's offensive pass interference on that fourth down.
How did you feel about that?
Ooh, that was a bad call. And I was sitting there because I'm a big, the refs aren't doing anything different. They're just bad.
Yeah.
They're not just bad for the Chiefs. And that was a big thorn in my argument.
Yeah.
And then we got a makeup call with a phantom roughing or unsportsmanlike penalty. And then Mahomes got his face smushed in on a play and they didn't call it. And I'm like, okay, let's just throw this whole refs thing out.
Yeah.
The Eagles won. Chiefs got no help. Everybody's like, we're back to normal. The refs are just bad. They're not Chiefs bad.
So the offensive pass interference was very early in the game, and it seemed like a huge moment, which ended up being completely insignificant. First drive, it would have been like a 20-yard pickup, and instead ends up resulting in a punt. I got to be honest with you, in the slow-mo, I'm like, yeah, I get what you call it. And by the way, Mike Pereira was doing the officials no favors, absolutely no favors. And I don't want to be the guy that comes in and says, Mike Pereira, like, do better, whatever. But, like, Mike Pereira, do a little bit better, okay? Like, you know how hard this job could be. Don't come up here and tell us when you're watching things in slow-mo replay, well, I would have done this, I would have done that, I would have done this, I would have done that. I have somewhat of a gripe, and I realize that this is ridiculous because I'm in media. I hate hearing the coaches and former executives and former, whatever, head of officiating, officials and all this stuff, tell me what they would have done in this situation. Buddies, if you guys were so great at those jobs, you'd still have them. Because no one is walking away from these positions willingly to go talk about these positions. You guys were all bad at your jobs. And that's why you're on television talking about the other people who are better at their jobs than you were. And that's why they still have said jobs and they haven't been replaced. So you coming out and talking crap about them really rubs me the wrong way. I'm tired of hearing how easy it was to be a former coach and how easy it was to be in management and how easy it was to be an official when you couldn't hang. And that's why you're on television talking about the people that could. Just a little mini rant. Here's a loser in Winners and Losers
we
presented by
usually get
Smirnoff.
that in the break. I'm very excited we got one on the show.
Here's a winner and loser presented by Smirnoff, and it is the exact same thing that you just said, but for a different reason. Here are the losers. Us. For saying that the officials were cheating on behalf of the Chiefs and they overcorrected and did not cheat on behalf of the Chiefs to the point that the game was not interesting. I could have used a lot of cheating yesterday on behalf of the officials just to keep things close and tight and honestly interesting for 3 quarters because, boy, was that game boring. Like a long, boring game. We've gone over it. So happy for the Eagles and the wonderful people of Philadelphia. I can't think of a fan base that deserves this championship more than the Philly fans. Man, do they struggle, and man, are they gracious winners. I'm so happy for them. However, I could have really used some cheating by the officials yesterday just to keep things tight and interesting. Yeah. And by the way, to have them run the ball at all, because I had Kareem Hunt in fantasy also. And 9 yards, buddy, ain't going to do it. That's why I finished in 70th place.
They only ran the ball 7 times, I think, the Chiefs in total.
They ran it 11 times, but 4 of them were by Patrick Mahomes.
Don't count the Patrick Mahomes scrambling for his life.
Yeah, 4 of them were by Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. Cheating. Could have used more of it yesterday in the Super Bowl. Do you have any winners or losers?
Would have been a more interesting
Fuentes? Any winners and losers for you? No?
Anybody who bet anything having to do with Saquon Barkley. I missed 2 huge parlays because he only had 50
Unless you
yards
bet
rushing.
the under.
Yeah, if you bet the under,
Unless you bet the under.
Yeah, 110. Oh, you got it? Yeah, 110 yards. I should have known better.
Thank you, Bear.
crazy.
The bear who joined us early in the week said, wait till the end and grab some unders, especially the ones that everybody is pounding on the over early. I was like, everybody's on Saquon. At one point, I could have got it at under 116 yards. 116 yards is ridiculous. Now, Saquon had been doing that, but at the same time, like the number was it's going to get 95, 100. When the over-under's at 116, give me that all day. I took the under.
Yeah. You know who was a winner this weekend? Mike Fuentes was a winner because he listened to the bear.
He did listen to the bear.
He did listen to the bear.
Selectively.
Mm-hmm. But, well, that's true, too. He chose when. But the time that he chose, great time for him to choose to listen to the bear. Great time for him to listen to the bear. You want to play a quick game of more Mikely, unless you have any more winners and losers presented by Smirnoff, the world's #1 vodka. Please drink responsibly. Any more winners and losers going once? Going twice? Okay, sold. We're going to move on to the next thing. More Mikely. All right. So, Super Bowl. Big thing in the Super Bowl are the commercials. I don't know how you guys felt about the commercials this year. Again, I have somewhat discussed the setup that I had with you guys. I was outside. There were a lot of people. Hard to watch the commercials on the projection screen, also when a lot of people are talking.
I before we get into the commercials, before we get into more Mikely, little mini rant on commercials.
Mm-hmm.
A commercial doesn't need a trailer. A commercial doesn't need commercials leading up to the commercial that you're going to air in the Super Bowl. That's part of it. They've become so big that they're not surprising anymore.
Yeah.
Now you can watch them on social media and stuff
wherever.
The days before the Super Bowl. Like let me just see it in its natural environment, and then you can give me all the behind the scenes and all that. But like leading up to it, it's like, oh, wait till February 9th. You're gonna see a Jeep commercial like you've never seen.
Yeah.
And it's like, why can't I just enjoy the commercial? That's the point.
I'm with you on that, and I feel like, and I don't know this, but I feel like the companies and like the ad agencies and all that are spending so much on these commercials that they're like, we can't just run for 30 seconds and be out $8 million or whatever. You know what I mean?
That's your problem, not mine.
Yeah, I'm with you because I'd like to be surprised, and there really is never a surprise anymore in the commercials just because you already see them beforehand. So anyways, more Mikely. And this is Super Bowl commercial based. Did you guys have a favorite commercial? Just out of curiosity. I did not. I have maybe like two that I can even remember happening. I remember that Pringles had one where for some reason they were like blowing into it and then the mustaches were flying off people's faces. I remember that one. And I was like, Adam Brody. He's still doing stuff. Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Seal as
George
a seal.
Costanza once was good. Second time was just awkward.
I didn't even see that one.
Me neither.
The first time was mayo. Second time was mustard. We had the When Harry Met Sally mayo one that made a comeback.
Well, it had Cindy Sweeney in it, which is right after a Glenn Powell commercial. Which the two of them like
seal being a seal, guys.
Enough already. The two of them.
That weirded me out, man. That was
seal as a seal was very weird.
Yeah, that was hard to watch.
Had my girl in it.
Who's your girl?
Becky G.
Becky G.
She's in the commercial for like a quarter of a second on the boat there.
Yeah, I did see Becky G in a commercial. I had no idea what it was for, and now that you're mentioning it, I do remember a seal, but I didn't realize that seal was a seal because, again, I was very far away from the screen. It was a whole thing. I will say this.
It was early in the game, too, so it was probably still light out.
Real quick, winners and losers. You don't have to play the music, but real quick, winners and losers, and this is the dangerous game that happens with projections also. Winners, all of us, for a kid not tripping on the cable and unplugging the projector because it's happened every single year. A kid trips on the cable, unplugs the projector, unplugs the sound. There's a scramble. No one knows how to fix it. You have to do a whole thing. People are shaking things. Now you're just sitting outside in the dark. Didn't happen yesterday, so good job on all the children.
Was there a designated cable dad? I feel like without even speaking, somebody sits by the cable, and anytime a kid starts a program, whoa, stay right there. Go around.
There wasn't, but I think what happened is the bounce house placement made it so that the kids weren't in the area with the cables, which is a good job by everyone that set up. Okay, so here is a round of Super Bowl commercial, more Mikely. Okay? Fuentes, you want to play more Mikely also? Okay. And this is, I realize now, not fun at all, but at the time I thought it was fun and I thought I was going to have more of these because it was early on and it was a commercial. Okay, Which is more Mikely? And if you have more Mikeleys that you want to send us, you can, tag all of us, at Billy Gill, Mike A Sports.
I need them for the season. I write them down all season.
So if you have any ideas, just tweet at all of us, #more Mikely. Which is more Mikely? Drew Barrymore going on an MSC cruise or Eugene Levy eating at Little Caesars? More Mikely. Because those were back-to-back commercials. And when I saw Drew Barrymore, I was like, Drew Barrymore is never going to be on a cruise ship with the common folk. I am never going to walk around on a cruise and see Drew Barrymore on an MSC cruise. And I was like, this is ridiculous. And then the next commercial comes on, and Eugene Levy is selling me Little Caesars. And I said, that is a man who does not even know what Little Caesars is while he's trying to sell me Little Caesars.
I'm going to go with Eugene Levy eating Little Caesars I'm going to go Drew Barrymore being on the cruise is more Mikely than Eugene Levy eating Little Caesars.
I'm with Mikey because she has enough money that she can buy the best suite and the best everything, and she'll be there. There's no way Eugene Levy is buying Little Caesars pizza.
Okay, now here's my thinking. I think that you guys are right in terms of more Mikely that Drew Barrymore could end up on a cruise. Now, this is why I think that she could end up on a cruise, because cruises also have like celebrity, quote unquote, like godmothers or godfathers, where they're like the celebrity that's tied to the ship, and they go with like the christening of the ship and all of that stuff. So like, I could see her being in one of those scenarios. I think she has children where she like takes the kids on the cruise. You won't see her. You're not going to hang out with Drew Barrymore. She's not going to be at like the whatever the challenge is, like the last night where everybody's like running around like, oh, I need a pair of two left sandals, everybody. And she's like running up and down trying to get you those. She's not going to be there. Eugene Levy, the idea of him at a Little Caesars, that might be the worst fit of celebrity endorser and product that I have ever seen. And part of it is because I just started watching On a Plane, Eugene Levy's travel show, where it's on Apple Plus or Apple. I got to be honest with you, confession time. Circle of Trust here, friends.
Circle of Trust.
I don't know the difference between just Apple TV and Apple Plus. I think it's the same. I think they just changed the name. Maybe there's like a $3 difference, and one of them gives you something that the other one doesn't. I have no idea what the difference is between the Apple and the Apple Plus. But his show is on Apple or Apple Plus or one of the Apples, where he's going around and, oh, I'm Eugene Levy. I'm a grump. I don't like to travel, but now I'm exploring the world and I love everything. Look at me. I'm enjoying life at 75 years old. Exactly right. Oh, here I am. I'm in the middle of Antarctica. Wow, I really do enjoy life. Life is so wonderful. I really should have done this more when I was younger. That's the gist of his show. Now, in watching the show, he talks about all of these extravagant hotels that he goes to, $3,000 a night, this and that. And when you live that lifestyle, respectfully, to the people of Little Caesars, you're not ordering hot and ready. You're not ordering hot and ready pizza. It's just not things that go hand in hand.
Okay. I need to throw a third Mikely in there.
Okay, hold on a second. We'll get to you in a second, Mike Fuentes. Sorry, I didn't realize you can't see each other. Yes, Mikey A. What is your third more Mikely?
Harrison Ford driving a Jeep.
I could see it because he like has his weird planes that he crashes. So like I could see him being a Jeep.
Yeah, when you
guy.
have money for planes to crash.
Yeah.
You don't drive a Jeep?
Really? I could see him being a guy that owns like a classic Jeep. I have a question for you guys, and this isn't about, well, actually, Fuentes, what were you going to say? And then I'll ask you my question because it's going to kind of go in a different direction.
No, I'm just expanding on what Mikey said. So Harrison Ford's 82 years old. He might be past his driving years, especially because he's rich. Yeah. But like you said, I could see him owning like a vintage Jeep that he's like, oh, I'm taking it around the beach today.
Yeah.
And there you go. But I was going to say late winners and losers, facial hair. The mustache commercial, Eugene Levy's eyebrows had a moment.
Yeah, they flew off his face also, didn't they?
Correct, and landed back on there for the Little Caesars.
Yeah, weird.
Winners and losers.
One guy had a good idea, sold it to two different companies.
I do like that.
Genius.
I do like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot what I was going to ask you guys, so guess we're not going to get back to it.
I ruined it. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. What were we talking about? We were talking about Eugene Levy. It'll come to me. Hey, when we come back, did the idea that was in my head come back to me? Find out.
This Friday, Captain America arrives.
Sam, the world needs heroes. Here I am.
Get tickets now for the first Marvel movie event of the year.
Let's go!
Anthony Mackie,
I'm going in.
Giancarlo Esposito,
Stand by for proof of that.
and Harrison Ford.
I'll show the world I've changed. You want me? Come and get me!
Captain America: Brave New World. See it in IMAX this Friday. Get tickets now. Rated PG-13. This film may be inappropriate for children under 13.
I remember what it was that I forgot about earlier, which I'm proud of myself because I'm getting to this age, Mikey, and you're not going to appreciate this because you're older than me. I'm getting to this age, and Fuentes is older than me too, but I'm getting to an age where I just forget things. Like forget names, forget things I'm talking about, like almost to the point that I wonder if I should ask a doctor about it, but we're not there yet. So I remember what I was going to talk about, and it was in the realm of the commercials and of the celebrities that were out and about. Kevin Costner and Pete Wentz just hanging out seemed like a very odd pair to me. Like, I don't know what the reason was, if they work for the same network, if they have the same reps, what it was, but like, it wasn't just they were sitting together at the game, like in regular seats, seemingly. They weren't in a booth. They seemed to just be in regular seats, sitting together, enjoying the game, talking to each other. I also saw pictures of them on the field together before, so like, Pete Wentz and Kevin Costner just had a boys' night yesterday, it would seem.
That seems like a similar agent type deal.
Yeah.
Like the agent brought them together, and then they know it. Like they met through that, and now they hang out.
Who do you think needed the other one more in that situation? Like, who benefited more from the other person's company? Because Pete Wentz had a moment, a couple years ago. We're a couple years.
You're talking about Pete Davidson, not Pete Wentz.
Oh yeah, Pete Davidson. I'm
Pete
sorry.
Davidson.
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
Pete Wentz, totally different guy.
See what I'm saying about
Totally
names
different
here?
guy.
I'm telling you. See what I'm saying about names? They're just coming and going.
But this is the rare
Winners and losers, my memory.
This is the rare both sides benefit situation, I
Yeah.
feel. Because Pete Davidson helps Kevin Costner stay relevant with a younger crowd. But then Kevin Costner, very hot right now because of Yellowstone and stuff like that. So a little bit of a mutual beneficial thing going on, I would say.
See, I'm gonna go next level on you. I'm gonna go one level deeper. Kevin Costner was married for years to the same woman, and then they just recently got divorced. Kevin Costner's learning how to do boys' night again.
Wow.
Kevin Costner was an indoor cat for so long. He's learning how to go out now. Pete Davidson showing him the ropes.
Pete Davidson, I think, and I don't know if this is like sacrilegious to say, Pete Davidson, I believe, was replaced by Marcelo Hernandez in terms of like the guy from SNL. Like Marcelo's still like on the come up, and he had his thing, Domingo, in the video, and everybody loves him, and like everybody wants to take a picture of him. Oh wow, Fuentes just dismissed that through the glass. Like just put his hand up
Waved
and then
his hand at
waved
you.
it down. He wants nothing to do with Marcelo, which is okay.
Okay.
Right. I don't know what's going on there. I guess
Not
he's
a
not
fan.
Marcelo guy, yeah. But Marcelo lives in like the Pete Davidson lane, does he not?
Well, Pete Davidson hasn't been on SNL for a while. So
well, that was a mistake.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna be big. No, you're not.
Yeah, I mean,
Pete Davidson.
That's what I'm saying. Because of that, there's a huge Pete Davidson size hole in SNL. Somebody has to fill it. So it's like, yeah, sure, Marcelo. I guess he's really funny at being Hispanic. Good for him.
There's just so you know this, Mikey. Do you know who Marcelo Hernandez is or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Even if you don't, that was a convincing answer. So here's the thing. There's a lot of hate that he gets in this office because he started down here locally. Like he was basically like Instagram, like famous. So like there's this Instagram account called Only in Day that just basically like is just highlight videos of like all the car fires and all this stuff. And like he would go out there and he would like interview people and he'd do like skits for like the Instagram and stuff like that. So like he was known here locally before, and you have a bunch of haters in this office because there's no other way to put it. You have a bunch of haters in this office who say very vocally that they are funnier than he is and that they could do what he's doing. So Marcelo gets a lot of hate within this office because everybody thinks that they could have been him, and they think that all he is Hispanic accents, and that's all that he does.
That is all he does.
Well, see, okay, so there's a lot.
Who's giving him the hate? I can't figure it out.
There's a lot there. Well, it's not. The funny thing is, Mike Fuentes is probably like 4th on the list. He's not even like the biggest Marcelo hater. On
I mean, I'm not. I just think I know guys that are funnier than him. Is that something?
Yeah. See, this is just a thing that happens all the time. Instead of being happy for other people, local guys made good that are out there, doing big things. And I don't know how we're talking or why we're talking about Marcelo right now, but instead of just being happy for the guy, just a bunch of grumpy people here saying that they could have been better than him. Adam Sandler and Paul McCartney. That one wasn't that surprising of a duo kind of flirting across the booth together, right? Like they've crossed paths multiple times, I would assume.
No, that one didn't surprise me at all. I feel like Paul McCartney is one of those guys that was like, hey, I know Adam Sandler. And Adam Sandler like, holy cow, I know Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
You guys want to go to the Super Bowl together? Sure. I got a box.
So here is my other question, and this is primarily for Mike Fuentes because Mikey A wasn't there for that, and you edited it, so you may have been confused by the situation. We had Adam Devine on the show last week, and in the Adam Devine interview, Rose, who works with us, came in and interrupted the interview to sing to Adam Devine. And Rose is someone who's an editor, and she does camera work for us, and she's normally going around with Lucy during the college season and kind of getting all of this stuff for Lucy's road trips. But she was on the Super Bowl this year. She was at the Super Bowl this year because Lucy was there and they were doing something else for a sponsor. But while she was there in one of the Uber rides, she decided that she was going to sing Country Roads, but she thought that the words to Country Roads were Baton Rouge. So she rewrote the song Country Roads and thought it was just called Baton Rouge, but also had the word California in it, it had the word Florida in it, and she had her own version of it. The next day, for some reason, because that happened, she came and she sang that song on stage to Adam Devine, which was divine, no pun intended.
Mm-hmm.
But so she went and she sang that song to Adam Devine. I thought that would be the end of it. The rest of the week, every time she saw Adam Devine, because he was there the entire week, he has a podcast apparently with the other workaholics, and they were recording it every day. And then whenever he wasn't recording it, he was pitching something, and he was on like every show. Right, so he was at Radio Row every single day for hours and hours every day, like putting in like work, like doing work. So every time that she would see him, she's like, "Hello, friend," and she would like awkwardly like reach out to him and talk to him, and he was very nice. He's like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" Blah blah blah, whatever. And I assume he didn't remember her at first, but I'm sure by the end he did, because every single time she saw him, she would do that, to the point when we were leaving the last day. In an Uber, she rolled down the window of the van. She's like, "Hi, friend." And I was like, please stop it. He's waiting to get in an Uber. Please stop bothering him. However, this is why I bring it up, and this is the question, and it's another commercial question. Rocket Mortgage had a commercial where the whole thing was everybody singing Country Roads. And I guess it was about home ownership and feeling like you have a place that's your home. So then like everybody's singing Country Roads, right? And then they go, and I don't know how many millions of dollars they paid for it, to then go live to the Superdome where they're playing Country Roads, trying to get videos of people singing to have it almost be an extended commercial, right? Very heavy-handed, very forced. No one seemed to really be singing Country Roads except like 3 people. So like they didn't get the moment that they wanted, I don't think. However, there was part of me when this is going on, and I'm wondering, Fuentes, if this happened to you. There was part of me when this was going on where I sat down and I said, and it's a ridiculous question to ask, but because of the way the week played out, I did wonder. I wonder if Adam Devine just thought about Rose right now. Because the fact that you have this crazy person singing Country Roads to a completely different, words that aren't for the song.
Baton Rouge,
yeah.
California. Makes no sense.
It made absolutely no sense. But the fact that you have this crazy
Did Adam
person,
Devine sing those words?
No, but I did wonder when it happened. I go, I wonder if wherever he is, if he's watching this, like with somewhere, he's like, someone sang that song to me this week, like in an interview, but was singing about Baton Rouge. It was the weirdest thing. And then every time I saw her the rest of the trip, she just kept coming up and like saying hi to me, and she thought we were really friends. So that was what I was thinking when that went on yesterday during the Super Bowl.
I did think about Rose for a second, and then I quickly forgot about her.
The time, well, it may be the same thing that happened with Adam.
Adam Devine, yeah.
The timing was just honestly incredible. That was like a prominent feature in an ad, and I was like, yeah. Anyway.
That's some Inception stuff.
Well, Mikey, your Jets are a disaster. I don't know if we have enough time here, but your Jets are a disaster. You're not going to get anyone coming back. Hey, guess what, though? Good thing for you. New year, fresh start. New quarterback, new receiver, new coach, new GM, new everything for you, huh? What an exciting time to be a Jets fan. No? Okay. All right. Guys, this is a fun year. That's going to wrap it up for our Monday episodes of God Bless Football. We're going all year long. We're just not going to be doing the Mondays, Fridays until the season begins again.
Fridays only.
Fridays only moving forward for the rest of the year, or not the rest of the year, the rest of the off season. I don't think we have any weeks off, which maybe it'll change. We'll see, because I'm a little bit tired. But we'll see if we have any times off. But we have the Combine coming up. We have the draft coming up. I heard from some people, draft show location, and it might be exciting. Might be hitting the road a little bit. Maybe going to Tennessee, a little Nashville situation. There was a funny exchange with someone. It was one of the sponsors. The sponsor's like, I heard we might be going to Nashville for the draft, which I don't think I'm supposed to be saying, but whatever. The sponsor's like, I heard we might be going to Nashville for the draft. And then Stugotz like, what happens if they trade the number 1 pick, buddy? What are we going to do? And he's like, then we're in Nashville. And I was like, exactly right. Then we're there. What are we going to do? Like, we're just
There are worse places to be.
Exactly right.
There are worse places to be.
Yeah.
And some of them pick in the top 5.
Like Green Bay, which is where we were going to be going originally. Because what the hell are we going to do there? Anyways, see you guys Friday.